Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? It's Rojo Kovi here. And today we are going to be celebrating me hitting 10K on YouTube. Um, you know, really excited that I hit that milestone. It came way than I actually thought it was going to, take, or like way sooner than I thought it would. Um, so it's, pretty awesome that's happened. I'm usually pretty bad at social media. I mean, for the most part, like my Instagrams and Facebooks and Twitters when I had one, but I wasn't much for being on those platforms, but you know YouTube was the one that worked for me. So shout out to everybody who's subscribed, who's been watching my videos and all that good stuff. uh, Pretty exciting. Let me go share some of these links real quick so I can have you know everybody can come join. But yeah, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Let me share the rest of these. Boom, 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 boom. All right, yeah. But so for this stream, I think we're gonna look at we'll look at what I'm doing right now, the comic I'm working on right now, and then maybe we can look at some of my older videos and kind of like see like where I, what what I was doing before, and stuff like that, kind of like the build up of my channel and you know whatever. Like that, kind of like see me sound good. All right, put the so I can see the okay. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, so yeah, let's look at what I got going on right now. So I'm a comic book creator. That was like my main hobby, my main thing that I do outside of just making YouTube and stuff like that. I've been making comics for like the last like 3 or 4 years, pretty much. Started doing digital and now I'm back doing traditional art. All self-published, pretty much just do it all on my own, just draw and print and just make all the comics and stuff. So right now, currently, I'm working on a long form comic, like a manga type thing. Here, let me see if I can. Uh, haven't used this thing in a long time. See, all right, here we go. All right, so yeah, so this is what I've been working on lately. I'm working on a new project. The tentative name right now is AWOL, and it's like about this character named Stokely, and he is part of this um, group called the Legionnaire Corps, and within the Legionnaire Corps is a team called the Top Five, and he's was formerly part of the Top Five, and what their job was to go and use their powers that they have, which is turn into super beings and go and fight these monsters that like are invading the worlds that they live in, the cities and stuff they live in, called the Brutes. So this is the first issue of that. I just finished that. I finished Inks a couple weeks ago. I'm doing all the gray tones and stuff right now, so you can see some of the pages aren't toned yet. And then I should be done with this chapter probably like Monday, like once I finish all the gray tones and all the that stuff. And then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna move on to chapter 2, which I thumbnailed the whole entire book pretty much, like all 4 chapters, give me 4 chapters, something. And then after that, I'll go from the next book or whatever, just depending on how that works. Like I think I'm gonna try to do a full like graphic novel or like a Taco Bomb manga type book, and not do like single issues. I think it just makes more sense fiscally, like when it comes to printing and stuff like that. Bigger books I think sell better, and you can to me it's just worth the price point, because for those who are like independent creators or independent comic artists, essentially like you have to like double the to make any money back off your print runs. You have to like double the price. And I think that if I'm selling a book that's only, I mean, most of my comics are always like over 30 pages for the most part, but sometimes I just feel like with a floppy, it doesn't really give that essence of like people wanting to pay $10 for. But if I have like a full graphic novel and I'm selling it for like $10, $15, people are, I feel like, are gonna be willing, and it's just more bang for your buck. You know, saying like paying $15 for a 100 and something page book compared to a 20, 30, 40 page book seems to be more going to be will want to buy. At least that's my mind. And also I just want to work on something just like a full form comic, not just work on like a single issue and then like come up with a new concept and single issue work on a new concept. I'm trying to get these like 1,000 pages under my belt, like to get better as an artist, whatever, you got to kind of like put the work in, the time in. So I'm trying to get like my 1,000 ugly pages out of the way, quote unquote, and just keep getting better. So this is like my new comic. And this is the first time, I mean, since my last two comics that I've done something that's more like action sci-fi-ish. Like my last comic was Scrub, which is like a slice of life basketball comic, more like dramatic, more about like the emotions of the characters and stuff like that. And it's like about a personal story about my life. And then there's Tit for Tat, which is more like a horror sci-fi thing. And this is more in my wheelhouse of like, if I don't know, how many of you guys are in this, have been here for long, but it might like my comic Nobody Saved, which is like my Spider-Man bootleg comic. That's like more of my wheelhouse, like action-packed fighting battle type stuff. So this is kind of like me going back into that space of action stuff like that. And this also with this comic, I'm trying to do like new inking techniques. This is like a color page. This is like me testing some colors. I don't know if that's gonna be the final colors, but so yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to do new things, new techniques with this comic, and hopefully I can have the full book out by August. My goal, because I'm tabling a convention in August, Mid Atlantic Comic Con, and so my goal is to have this book done, the whole like 120 some pages done by then. So yeah, that's the goal for that. And then yeah, that's kind of that's that. But yeah, so this is it. I've been grinding around these pages. Usually doing the screen tones is probably the quickest thing. Screen toning and lettering is probably it takes me probably like 3 days to do, depending on how long the book is and my energy level, 2-3 days to knock all this stuff out. So yeah, this one I had a lot of fun doing this comic, especially this last like couple pages. But yeah, so these are some good pages. I snapped on that. Look at that. Damn. But yeah. Let's see what else. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a comic book creator, so I have a bunch of comics that I have for sale. Right now, since I did 10K, I have a sale for I have a sale for all my comics on my website. So here's my website. You want to check that out? Is Avox Comics. That's my website, and you go to my website, you can just buy all my comics right now that I have for sale for free. I just added a new bundle. So this is pretty much like the huge bundle, which has all the comics that I have for sale for a discounted price. I have a digital sampler, so this has all my original comics on there for free. So you want to download, you get like a free sample for like the first couple issues of first couple pages of each comic. So it has Cub and Nobody Safe on there. And then you can buy, these are all my comics that I have for these are all the comics that I have worked with other people with. So the K Fam, which is a group that I'm a part of, we've worked on a couple anthology books, and so these are the two that I have for sale. Ink Slapper, this is another free like sketchbook art book that I did with a bunch of pieces that I drew with from recommendations from my YouTube community post. And then yeah, so check it out. And Strange Fruits Revenge is also free. And then I have Troll Call that's for free for download right now as well. So yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, I also have a discount code. It's 10K subs. That is a discount code. I'll put that in the chat right now. And if you use that discount code, you get 10% off your order. So I'll put that in the chat. So anybody who wants to use that, go ahead and yeah, that's going to be valid for the next like 2 weeks, pretty much. So, and then also, I'm going to have like, what's it called? Um, I'm gonna start making like little ash cans of this comic that I just showed, my AWOL comic, and then for the next couple orders, whoever orders a random these next couple weeks, I'm gonna be slipping in those little ash cans of that comic in there, so you guys can have like an early release of it or whatever. But yeah, 10,000 subs it's it's fucking crazy. I mean, YouTube was definitely like a secondary thing for me. It wasn't like it wasn't a second thought. It was more of just like, you know, I wouldn't even say it was a half-ass thing. It was more like I wasn't sure how I was gonna go about doing um YouTube, right? So when I started the channel, um I knew my end goal was to like essentially, use it as a means to an end as far as like getting people to watch or to read and buy my comics, right? So when I was coming up and making comics, when I was first getting back into the space, I realized that like, this is the day of, going viral and doing digital stuff. So I wanted to like build use a social media platform to help lift me up and become more, build a fan base that's going to want to buy my stuff. So I've seen like a lot of people going viral, making comics like on TikTok and on YouTube, and, creators who were like, not even just comic book creators, just people who were like YouTubers who were just like using YouTube as a platform, building a huge audience. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a comic. And so, I was seeing that and I was like, well, if I want to become popular, or if I want to sell a lot of comics, I like don't want to, go through a publisher. I need to figure out which platform works for me in order to do that. So first start with my Instagram. Let me go to my Instagram. And on my Instagram, I I started this Instagram back in 2020, and when I did that, I like that was like my first option. All right, I'm gonna use my Instagram, and I'm going to use my Instagram as a way to promote my art, build a community, find people on here, and like-minded people, the whole 9 yards. But I slowly realized, or not slowly, but I pretty much realized that like YouTube is just like Facebook and like other Meta owned platforms. You have to kind of like pay to play, which essentially you have to pay for like the advertisements and like the and then also stuff like that in order for people to come find your channel. And then you also have to have like a mainstream art style. Like YouTube isn't meant for artists who are like niche or like avant-garde. There it's like if you're doing like fan art and stuff like that, your Instagram page will pop up. You know what I'm saying? Like your YouTube, or goddamn, I keep saying YouTube. Your Instagram page will get popular, or like, what I'm saying? Like people like fan art on Instagram a lot of times. The algorithms will recommend that type of stuff. Let me go back to the bottom of my Instagram. So Instagram, like, it just wasn't working. Like, I mean, I'm still like, especially when I first started, I was just starting to learn how to draw. So it was taking me a long time to like figure, just get my, my artistic stylings back, to the way where I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And I was doing the whole thing. I was doing all these reels and shit. Like this reel, like this, some of these reels were getting like a lot of views, like 10K, some views. I was working on this web comic that I had on my website before I took it down. And, I was putting out chapters monthly. I was grinding on, my web comics. It was called BAM. And I'm gonna get back to that eventually, but, and, in the mix of doing that, I was, just working, and drawing every day, drawing like all the time. But like I said, like, I was like, man, YouTube is just it's just not working. Like, I can't get no traction. Nobody wants to go to my website to like, and I wasn't even selling the webcomic. It was just on the free. The goal was to get like people to pay for it, but I was just putting it on there. And then I did like 11 chapters of this comic. So like my whole page was pretty much this whole entire comic. And I did another comic called The Lost Zone, which I want to redraw eventually because I like the concept for it. But and then when I first started my Instagram, I was doing this webtoon called Life's a Trip. And I was just like posting, like it was like damn near like daily. It was like bi-daily, kind of like every other day. Like whenever I finished it, I would just post it on there. And yeah, so that's kind of like where I started on Instagram. Like I started, this Instagram just do whatever. So this is like my very first page of this painting that I have. I don't even know if I still have that painting. And then it's just like I broke a pen and I was like fucking around. And this is like when I first got my iPad and I was trying to figure out how to color. I think I did this on my phone actually. And then this might be before I got my iPad. This is my phone. And then I got my iPad. And then after that, I pretty much started going from there. But see, like you get boost your posts and shit. And that's pretty much how you get popular on Instagram. You boost your posts. Like that's a real quick shortcut, honestly. But if you start doing like fan art, like there's like pages dedicated to just like doing Naruto fan art or Dragon Ball Z and and then like they'll post like an original page, original character, and it doesn't get any likes, but they post like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or whatever this popular anime is, and then whatever. But so yeah, I mean, I started doing this page, and then I mean this like Instagram page, and like I said, I wasn't really getting that much traction, and uh, whatever. And then also like when I was starting to get on YouTube, like watching comic book reviewers and comic book videos, I was noticing like pages who are people who were actually like comic book artists, comic book creators who are making YouTube pages. So like originally, like my first one, back in the day was White Manga. And if you guys know White Manga is, he was like one of the original guys that were doing like how-to videos on YouTube. Um, and he like I found out about him like a long time ago. He he was kind of like an early inspiration. See, he has a lot of followers. He's 500,000 subs, and I mean, he's not as consistent as he was before on his channel, and his traction kind of went away. But like, he pretty much did what he was, what he was set out to do for the channel, which was like become a mangaka. And he's like been on here since, let me see, his oldest video like 12 years ago. So that was a long ass time ago. 12 years, that's 2013, something like that. That's like around the time I started getting on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube. And then after that, this was like back in middle school days when I first was drawing. And then once I got back into it in 2021, I think one of the biggest pages I think that inspired me was cartoonist kayfabe. And cartoonist kayfabe, is a real staple, especially looking back now after like, the whole things that happened with, Ed Piscor and, whatever. Uh this page, like it kind of showed me like, okay, this is how you do, like if you want to sell your comics, you put out a bunch of content on a channel or whatever, and then you just promote it. So kayfabe, I don't know if you guys watch these videos, but essentially they would just pull out a comic and look through it and they'll talk about it. And Ed and Jim were just like, they're super fucking smart and they knew a lot about comics. And so I was like, man, I can do that. I can record a bunch of videos and fucking like do that. So when I first started this channel, I don't know if it's gonna show it. I'm probably have to go to like my studio, but let me see. Okay, so if I go to my videos, I have a lot of videos that I freaking what's it called, aren't published, but still, if you go right here, unlisted. So a lot of these videos or like were me doing what the Ed and Jim were doing. So I would find a comic and then I would essentially this is what I was doing. I was had like an intro and everything, and then I would freaking do the kayfabe thing, kayfabe thing. I would look through all my comics in my collection and talk and the whole shit. But the problem is I don't have nearly the same amount of knowledge as Jim or Ed did, and I was by myself too. And so I would just be like, yeah, like I don't know if I wanna do this. And I was doing it like fucking all the time. Like like if you go back here, I was posting like a video every day. I could literally copy their model essentially. Like I literally like one of my first videos was, looking at a bunch of comics that they that were just in my collection, and I was doing the same thing. I had the camera angle, and then I would stop into like little ads. See, like this is, and yeah, I was doing the same thing that they did. That was literally like my first time, when I was first posting like all a bunch of videos of me just looking at different manga, different comics, all of them. And then I would have like little random ads and like bumps in there where I would like edit in between. Did I do this one? I don't know, but I would do it in all the videos essentially. And I did it, like I said, for like, let me see, how long I did it for. I did it for like 3 months, I think. 3 4 months. Let me see. What are these old videos? And I was posting like how-to videos and stuff too. They're like, before the reels came out, and they were just like videos from my let's go. So I started June 16th, 2023. That was like the first one I posted. That was that style of video. And then I stopped like my last one was right here, September. So from June to September, I was doing video. I stopped and I was like, I need to use different type of content because this isn't gonna work for me. Like it just wasn't. I didn't think it was gonna get enough traction. I didn't want to keep just like looking at comics and try to like figure out, okay, what's a good comic for me to read, and what are people gonna want to look at, and da da da, and it wasn't like working for me essentially, right? Like I said, like what Jim and Ed did, and even other channels that are kind of similar to this, like they have way more like knowledge, especially for like the '90s comics that are like really in vogue still, that people really talk about all the time. And I don't really have that knowledge, not like in that way, so I don't remember, when this guy published this artist published this book, and where he went on from there, and who was the inker, and who did this and who did that. So, and I appreciate everybody in the chat who's giving me congratulations and stuff like that. Thank you, everybody who's watching right now. Again, I have a discount code going on for my website. So if you go to my website, all my comic stuff on there for sale. I have some digital comics for free as well. Discount code is 10K subs, and you can get 10% off, or 10% off, or 25% off. Sorry, off of your whole order. So go check it out. But yeah, so after that, I was just like, man, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, I don't think me looking at comics is gonna work. I want to do something a little bit different. So I decided, like, all right, I'm gonna do a video essay. So my very first video essay was on Kolchalka, American Elf. So James Kolchalka's American Elf. So this is like my very first video essay. It's literally 4 minutes long. And the funny thing about these videos is that, see, I have the same mic that I'm using right now. But back then I didn't realize I was never using it, right? So I had it plugged in, but you need to import and output like cords plugged in. So I never realized that. So I was recording it, editing it, and I was like, why does the audio sound like ass? I'm like, this fucking microphone. And this microphone isn't like cheap. It's not like an expensive microphone, but it's not a cheap one, And so I was like, damn, this microphone sucks. Like, this is like one I found from like some YouTuber who recommended it. I was like, this microphone fucking sucks. But I just didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, so this is like my very first video essay, and I know 6 minutes. It didn't do very well, but obviously back then I only had like probably a couple hundred subscribers anyways, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, so this is just me, and I was just there, talking and just kind of like whatever. And then yeah, so that was like my first. And American Elf was a comic that I knew about when I was like a little kid. Like, I went to this comic drawing class along, like, when I was little, and the teacher told me about it. But then after that, I was like, okay, let me try different types of titles. So I did this one about Tom McFarlane. That one did okay for the time. And then I did this one about the death of superhero comic book superstars, which was like a video essay that I did about like why there are no more like popular comic book YouTubers. I mean, not YouTubers, comic book like artists anymore. Like the image guys, how there's no more. And I pretty much like broke down like essentially like publishers are more leaning towards writers, because writers seem to be more reliable, because the artists just go run away or whatever, and they took off, and like pretty much what the image comics guys did left a bad taste in the mouths of the publishers, and da 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 and all that stuff. So that's kind of what this video was about. And then after that, I got some a little bit of traction, and people were like, damn, this is cool, like that. I mean, not cool, but like, hey, yeah, that's interesting, like da 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 da, whatever. Like, and then so like, okay, I'm on to something. I'm on to something here. Like, I got like 1,000 views really quick, and that was pretty, for the time, because I only had like it's like probably 200 300 subscribers. Like, oh hell yeah, 1,000 views. And I did this one about the death of Shonen Jump. We were talking about how like a lot of the Shonen comics at the time were starting to come, like all the mainstream Shonen comics that are coming out were essentially falling off. I guess we're looking at my regular channel now, and that yeah. So I mean, I just kind of went from there. I talked about, because this video was me essentially, because I started getting more into like the indie comics space, especially like the Kickstarter comics, and this one is more about the toxic fan comic culture. We'll talk about like comics gate and like that stuff, because I started getting really, these two videos I was really getting deep into that like space of like the internet comic book creator antics and people like talking shit and just being like goofy and weird and shit. And so I kind of talked about it in these two videos. This one I was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and essentially I was kind of just like talking about why I think Jujutsu Kaisen isn't that great, and that the only reason people even care about it is because the anime is good. And I got like super thrashed in all the comments. Like people were in my comments just talking, like I was going back. It's like when I first started getting like a lot of comments, I was going back and forth arguing with people in my comments and stuff. And I was like, bro, like I was like, yeah, whatever. And then look how short some of these videos are, like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. And so these videos are all doing pretty okay. Like I was doing like 1,000 views, like real quick, and then whatever. And then this Seth Rogen video was one of the first videos that I made that like did like a lot of views really quick. So I did like 10K in like a couple of days, and like 10K was a lot, for what I had going on. So I was like, hell yeah, what the fuck, like. And then again, I just kept moving around. So I was kind of slowing up around these videos. I think I was working on a comic or doing something else, and I was kind of like, still wasn't sure about the YouTube thing. I was kind of like, whatever, I'll do a video when I can. So my goal was always like 1 or 2 videos a month. If I can get that, I can do it. If I can, like whatever, I don't give a fuck. And then around here is when things started getting more traction. So when I did this wokeness one, that one did pretty well, relatively speaking. This People Chill one, this one, so this is around the time I went to I think right before I went to Heroes Con last year. So I put these 3 videos out kind of like relatively around in like a short span of time. So this People Chill one I'm really proud of, because Felipe Smith actually, the artist that made the comic, actually, like I sent it to him, or I messaged him about it, and he watched it, and he was like, yeah, I appreciate, like, you really laid down the comic, so I was trying to get him on the fucking video, but some of these dudes, like the way Instagram has the DM setup now, like if you're not following each other, it goes straight to recommendation or requests, and then most people don't check their requests because obviously there's like a lot of bots and stuff, so it makes it hard for me to like message or like talk to creators, especially the ones that are like want on the videos. But I mean, Felipe Smith saw it, so that's all I care about. So I made 2 videos about him because I thought Felipe Smith's story was like really interesting, especially like this manga was really interesting in the fact that he was like one of the first like American comic creators to get Americans to get published by a Japanese like manga publisher. And then this one right here is the Rona Project. If you guys don't know what the Rona Project is, Rona Project was like one of the very first like YouTubers that did like they were making their own manga. And this one was like probably one of my favorite videos that I've made, because I actually got the interview the creator of Rona Project. So like when I was in middle school, around the same time I found out about White, I found out about the Rona Project, and they were like doing like daily vlogs or like vlogs of them like making their fucking manga, and it was actually really, really dope. Like the manga was dope. Is the channel gone? Oh no, there's no way the channel's. Oh, it's right here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, they were doing like all these videos back in the day of them, like these like 15 years ago, like a long 16 15 years, like one of the very first YouTubers, and they were doing like video descriptions of like the artist would draw the characters, and the writer, he would like narrate. Anthony would talk about the characters and give these cool descriptions. They'll do these cool animations, and I still have my copy of the book and everything. And sadly, the Jacob, the artist, he ended up passing away in a car crash. So the project kind of like they were able to finish the first book. Like they pretty much had most of it done by the time he passed away. So they had just kind of like had to, whatever. And I got the book when they first published it, and I still have it to this day. It's like but yeah. So when I did my video on it, because I was like, man, I want to do a video about it. I was able to talk to Ryan, and yeah, so that was awesome. He was really cool. And that was actually, it's just like cool because like it's like a nostalgia hit, you know. And then after that, yeah, those videos really did. All of them did relatively good, especially for that time. Like I said, so like around this time, I probably had like 1,000 subs or so. So I was like, damn, I'm doing like really good. And most of the time, most of my videos, for the most part, would do pretty well compared to like my sub count. And I always in my mind it was like, okay, as long as I get more views than my subs or around the same, I'm doing a good job or I feel good about it. And then this Dahmer video just hit out of nowhere. Yeah, so like right around when I went to Heroes Con, I dropped this video about Jeffrey Dahmer, about my friend Dahmer, and this video for some reason did really, really good. Um, yeah, over a quarter million views. And it just did good. And this is a comic that I got found out about a long time ago. Also, that I really liked by Durf. Derf is a cartoonist I found like a long ass time ago with all of his cool comics, like
And the graphic novel
here, like Punk Rock and Trailer Parks Trash. Punk Rock Trailer Parks, I don't even think is even in print anymore. Like I still have my copy from like high school, so that's pretty cool. And I never messaged him about like trying to get him on the video because I was like, I don't know, I just didn't want to. I know I kind of like iffy about getting people on for videos. Not because like I'm scared for them to say no or yes or no, but I'm just like I don't know if I don't know. Like I don't want to work around people's schedules, and I always have like a deadline in my mind, like when I want to get the videos out, and I don't want to like work around people or like something like that. So I'd rather just kind of like do it myself, you know. But so that video did really good, and then after that, I kind of had these two videos kind of were like a lull, like they didn't do good. Like this one didn't do well for some reason. I was like, man, whatever, because I think I was talking to my brother or somebody, and they were like, yeah, if you do videos about like celebrities do pretty well. So I did this video and didn't do really good. But this is another like at this point in my these YouTube videos, I was like looking at like older stories that are like relevant to comic book like lore. And this is where I was kind of finding like what's it called? Like what my channel was about, which is like comic book lore and like doing deep dives on like certain like random facts and stuff. So this one was kind of like one of those random fact videos, stuff like that. These two kind of just in that similar vein of like just random comic book things that people might not know about. So like, and then this one was just like a opinion piece, kind of just like about like what I see on people talking about on, YouTube and stuff about how comics are kind of like huge video pitches at this point and da da da. And then this video did really good about Mike. Fuck this guy's name. I be forgetting these videos so long. Yeah, this guy, the boiled angel guy, Mike. Forgot his last name. And he went to jail for fucking like making like crazy looking comics, and he went to jail. Like he went to jail for like 3-4 days, but then he was on probation for like a long ass like 20 something years. It was kind of crazy. And this video, I don't remember how I found out about that. I think I found out about that through like a kayfabe video or something like that they were talking about. And then I did this video about like banned comics and stuff like that. And then that one did okay. It didn't do as good as I thought I was gonna do. And then the Superman one about I'm forgetting everybody's name, man. What is this called? The Death of Power comic. It's like a bootleg, like doujinshi Superman comic. It's super like a nasty, like not nasty, but like super X-rated, gritty comic. I got to interview.
That
also for this
ended up being
cool. He's super awesome. I found out about this comic from like Cartoonist Kayfabe because he pretty much like Cartoonist Kayfabe pretty much helped him go viral for this comic. But I mean, this comic is awesome. Like his artwork is super dope. So yeah, he was cool. And then I talked about Ultra Mega and kind of how manga's influenced comics. I talked about James, not James, what's his full name? Simon Hanselman, and like his whole time, like him making his own comics, Meg and Mog, and his Crisis Zone comic that he made during the pandemic. And that was like one of the comics that like inspired me to make comics myself. If you watch the video, I kind of like, go over it, but pretty much like he started the like during the pandemic, my main hobby was like working out, and it still was working out when my body isn't killing me. But yeah, he kind of like, did the thing. I found his page through his webcomic, and then after that, I kind of got inspired to go back to drawing comics. So that's what that video was about. And then yeah, after that, just a bunch more or less the same, just different topics, different things. And I've gotten like videos that did pretty good, like this Black Super Paradox that did really good. This video did relatively okay. This did really good. This video did super good. Almost 500,000 views, and then YouTube like censored it, and so now like they kind of like just like shadow banned the video about Invincible. And I've always like, I'm a huge Invincible fan, and I've like wanted to do videos about Invincible, but I feel like that's kind of like an algorithm trap. And what I mean by algorithm trap is like there's certain videos or like types of videos that like will do really good on YouTube, but then like if you deviate from that type of video, it's gonna kind of like fuck up your like channel. So like if I didn't like, I don't want to be a Invincible dedicated channel because there's so many. It's like being like a channel who only talks about like manga or certain types of like things, like relevant topics and stuff like that. And if you kind of deviate, kind of like fucks up your channel. So like like I like wanted to do Invincible video, and the only reason I even made this video, I don't remember what inspired me to make this video, but I was like, I'll make this video, be cool. Because I mean, I know about Invincible. Like I literally like had the full run and everything. Like I'm a huge Invincible fan, but I just like I don't want to, whatever. This video about Nick Simmons kind of surprised me about how popular he is, because Nick Simmons is like not really a celebrity. So, but like this is like one of the stories that I knew about from a long time ago when I was in high school, middle school, like about him ripping off Bleach. But yeah, and this is my most recent video about war and stuff like that. Now, what I'm trying to do now is start to get more and more like longer type videos. So probably like work up to like 30 minutes to an hour, so on and so forth, just because like there are topics that I want to cover, but I'm like, I don't know if they're worthy of just making a singular video. So like what I want to try to do is like merge topics that are kind of correlated, and then like make a longer, chunkier video. So like I can dive deep in like different like topics or different like comic. Like say I want to do a video about this comic and about this topic, and I'm gonna say, okay, let me try to figure out how I can like make them like work together. You know what I'm saying? So like the war comic video, I talked about the history of war and like comics and how they're kind of correlated. I also talked about like how manga kind of came from, or like modern manga and how it is now, came from World War. And I also talked about my favorite war comics. So I was able to like put that all together. So that's kind of like what I'm going to try to do from now on. So instead of like making like a video just about how manga came from war and how superheroes did this, and like I just make it one overarching video topic. And that's what I'm going to start doing from now on. Which kind of sucks. Like I don't know why I'm doing that to myself, because editing just is like it's already a pain to edit like a 10-minute video, and it's doing like a 30-minute like this is the final number is 26 minutes, but like the editing, like the whole fucking thing, like unedited, was probably like 40 minutes of raw footage, and I had to like edit it down and like take out all of my mistakes or like lines that didn't make any sense. This is fucking annoying. But anyways, let me see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, comments that are not good. I struggle with whether or not keeping Ultramega. I fear weeps discovering everyone. Yeah, I don't like. I feel like Ultramega should be way more popular than it is. I'm surprised it's not that popular, but I mean, like, I feel like this is one of those gonna be one of slow burn comics, but also like Ultra Mega is like super good, like art wise, but I feel like the story is kind of lacking, like to a little bit, like to a degree. But I think the artwork is so good that like it doesn't matter. Like if James Herron like had like a writer, like because Ultra Mega is about to end in the next chapter, and it is late too. Like yeah, like it was supposed to come out like in March, the final chapter. I don't know why it's not out yet, but yeah, I mean it's like super. Like it's super good. Like these pages, like for that comic, like I study that comic. Like I really like I want my style to be like James Herron, because he's fucking fantastic. But I don't think it's gonna get that popular. I think it's just gonna be one of those comics that are like your favorite comics, like your favorite artist. That's kind of what James Herron is, because he doesn't really do a lot of comics. He does mostly like cover arts and stuff like that, and does commissions and stuff like that. He probably makes a lot of money. All right, he makes a lot of money doing that type of stuff. So I don't know what he's gonna do after this, because I mean the only thing he's done after the from this was Rumble, which is like another Image comic that wasn't that popular. The artwork is awesome. That he did like a Thor comic. He did some BPRD stuff, but it wasn't even like Hellboy. It was like some other shit. And then that's kind of, he doesn't really have that much interiors. So like I don't think it's gonna become that popular. I wish it was. If it got like anime, it'd be pretty cool. But like it's not even that. The story isn't even long enough for it to do that. Like, I'm surprised he's ending it right now. Like the next chapter. I don't know why. I guess he is over it or whatever. But I don't know. And then yeah, I have a full run of Invincible. Um, Middle school, I had Invincible, a bunch of Invincible issues, and then like around when the show came out and around like the pandemic, I was like, let me get back into reading it. Like I reread it, and then I was like, man, this shit is so good. I forget how good it was. And then I started buying like I mean, I had most of the run anyway, so I bought a lot more of it. Spent a lot of money. Spent a lot of money on that. Probably not as much as I would now if I was buying it now because a lot of more of the key issues are starting to become or a lot more issues are becoming more key issues, quote unquote, because of like the show and stuff. It's like each new season, like one issue is going to become more and more like expensive. So yeah, like like I got the full run. I bought like a long box specifically that's Invincible, like and everything. I went and bought the Battle Beast comic that just came out. Like I'm a huge like I love Invincible. It's like one of my favorite comics and influential comics. Like that one, Kick Ass, and then the Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness Hulk are like my trifecta of comics that are like never do me wrong. Like I always look back and be like my comfort comics, no matter how good or bad the writing is. I don't give a fuck. I love them. And then you know, and because like I mean Ryan Otley is one of my favorite artists. Art Adams, Ed McGuinness. Those are like my top three like artists and my favorites. Even though I don't think I don't really draw like them, I just think they're just super dope, and they're all kind of like influenced like by Art Adams, so it's kind of interesting. Direction in this. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about in the video. Like James Herron, like a lot of comics are starting to look like James Herron's comics. Like James Herron and Daniel Johnson, they're kind of very similar, where they do a lot of like I call like dirty ink style, where a lot of splatter, a lot of like speed lines, and you know a lot of that cool shit. Like I fucking like Ultra Mega is super dope because he's like super. I don't even know like gestural. His art style super cartoony and like yeah, he's super dope, man. I fuck with his artwork. He's super cool, man. Oh, he's great. I like the guy. Yeah, Corey Walker. I like Corey Walker. He's very like I like his artwork too. I mean, he did like I don't know. It's weird how like were there a lot of Robert Kirkman's artists for like his first like his two mega hit comics like they like fell off after the first couple issues. Like Tony Moore after like the fourth issue of A Walking Dead couldn't do it anymore. And then the other artists came on, and just fucking ran the rest of it. And same thing with Corey Walker. I mean, Corey Walker would come on here and there, and like do fill-in issues and like different arcs and stuff. But I think it's kind of funny how Robert Kirkman that happened. And like with Tony Moore and Robert Kirkman, they kind of had like went into like that legal beef about like the like how much money Tony Moore is owed for Walking Dead got popping and stuff like that. Which I mean, I guess Tony Moore did help create the series, but I feel like he might be asking for more. Or I mean, he might have asked for more than he deserved. But I mean, that's not my place to like say because I mean, you only did the first 4 or 5 issues, and the other guy did the rest 100 and something. But he never had the issue Corey Walker. So I mean, I don't know. It might have just been a them thing. But I don't know. I think I mean, obviously, whenever the Walking Dead events were running, like Robert and them, they probably didn't have any money, so like they probably like, bro, I can't keep working on this comic with you. I'm not getting paid, so I gotta go do something. I'm gonna get paid, like. And then out of nowhere, they just blew up, and it's not like any of them could have foresaw that. But that guy Matt, the who was a fucking what is that guy's name? Matt. He was a fucking industry plant. He did a video about it. He's not a really industry plant, I don't think so, but he's definitely he definitely hit the algorithm. But this video right here, he kind of breaks it down about like the beefs and shit like that. Like Robert Kirkman, like Loki, I guess like a scammer or something. I don't know, man. Like a lot of his artists are suing him. Like like the colorist or one of the colorists or one of the inkers from fucking Invincible is like suing him now because he like told him to sell his rights for because they were gonna do the Invincible show back in like 2015 with MTV, and so he told him to like sell Robert his rights back so he could like have an easier pitch for MTV, and he did. And then like now Invincible's popping, and he's like, bro, like what the fuck? Like I want my money and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if whatever. I think it's funny. Let me see. Massive Panda. One of my favorites. Do a power. Oh yeah. Yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson's a dope ass artist too, man. I fuck with Daniel Johnson. He's like one of my favorites also. Do a Power Bomb is sick. I love how he was able to like give like he's like because he's a wrestling fan, so he was able to like give like really great like perspective and views on like wrestling. Like there's like one scene where like I think the guy's name like Cobra Sun is doing like a backflip thing, and then fucking like it looks like a fucking like you could it looks like an actual wrestling what's it called, like a wrestling like slam. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it if we can. But yeah, Daniel Johnson snapped on that do a Power Bomb and the Beta Ray Bill. Those are my favorites. He has a really good his Wonder Woman comic. Wonder Woman, I think it's let me see. I have it right here. Wonder Woman Dead Earth. If you haven't read this, I would fucking highly recommend it. It's like super dope. Let me see. You think he might be interested? I never thought that. No, I don't think. I mean, I don't think Matt's interested. I think in one of the group type summit one of the dudes found out like he's like an internet guy. Like I think he's like an internet. I don't know if he's like an internet bro, but he was like a CEO of a corporation. So he kind of like he has the time and the money to like make videos, and he probably has the resources to like get editors and all that stuff. So I'm not hating because his videos are really fucking good. Like I fuck with Matt. I think I just like think it's like crazy how like when I first found his page, he like did like 3 videos back to back of like that hit like 1 million. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Like how the hell is this guy fucking able to do like how did he do that? Like he just came out of nowhere. Like he did I mean some of the videos like are like definitely like algorithm like things like Robert like doing videos about like Rob Liefeld are fucking like you're gonna make you do a lot of views in that. Todd McFarlane, Robert, these are all like popular guys. And in terms of you like look at them like kind of like in a bad light, doesn't do well. But like I mean some of these like this video did good. Like all these videos do look good. And, I mean he has good content. He's very knowledgeable and stuff like that for the most part. I think this one's his best one. They're Raised by Disney. These two are actually really good. The Robert Kirk one was like, damn, I didn't know. What the fuck? And it was crazy because this Todd McFarlane one, I swore I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm gonna make a video about Todd McFarlane like getting sued by Neil Gaiman and stuff like that. And he put the video out, and I was like, man, this guy. But anyways, yeah, do a power bomb. Fuck you. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, he like all these like look at Daniel Johnson, look at his artwork, man. But there's one splash page that he did. This one right here. I think is it this one? No, it's not this one. But this is super dope also. Yeah, this is like the first series that I read by him that was like he had coming on and stuff, or like it was coming out new. Like when I first found out about him, like he had already finished Extremity and Murder Falcon and all the other stuff. But yeah, I like Daniel Johnson, man. He like good with action. He draws people kind of like they're like the faces and stuff, but he's sick though. I fuck with him, man. He's really good, and he goes like live on his YouTube and he like kind of does this whole thing. Yeah, he's super dope. Actually, on the Wonder Woman hardcover, I still haven't read that one either. Huh. Yeah, I feel you, Massive Panda. I'm the same way, bro. Like I can show you. I bought a bunch of comics this last week, and I'm super behind. Like I've been rereading Blankets. This is what my book for this month. Blankets by Craig Thompson. I read it before, but I'm going to Heroes Con, so I'm rereading it because he's gonna be there, so I'm gonna get it signed. I read his other book, Jensen Root. I just finished that one. That guy's a dope artist, man. I bought this the Spawn Adventures of Spawns simply for oh yeah, scratches on it. What the hell? Whatever. Kari Randolph's artwork, super dope. I bought Climber, the manga. This manga, I've been waiting for this to become an English edition because it's only bootleg English editions, and I was like, bro, I hate the bootleg English editions because like the text is all weird and stuff. So this is a Fat Boy, it's like an omnibus. So this is super dope. I got volume 3 of Verses. This is from the writer of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100. This is sick. This is super sick. So if you haven't checked this out, I would highly recommend it. And then this is into Majin Into the Deep. This is by the guy that made Goodnight Pun Pun, and he has a couple like Girl on the Shore, a bunch of other manga. And I found out about this when he was first posting it on online, but I couldn't keep up with the release dates and shit. When he was posting it online, like on the web, I forgot what website it was. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait till the trade comes out and buy him. So Volume 2 just came out in English, so I just picked it up because I saw it at the comics where I go to. So let me see what else. Hey, I got your Jibber Tat. I really enjoyed them. I hope you continue. Hey, I appreciate you, Michael. I appreciate you for buying the comics. I am like, I have another comic that I'm working on right now. I have I'm not gonna stop you making comics, man. I appreciate you. I'm glad you liked them. I'm glad you bought them. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sometimes videos are too slick, too polished, are most good, but it seems too fresh. That makes sense. Yeah, they're really super dope. I mean, Max comics videos are like, they're really good. But like I said, I think he's like already like in that industry. Like, cause like when I first, like I said, most YouTubers who first start off, unless they already had like because when I first saw Max page, I was like, okay, this guy, he's had a YouTube channel before. That was kind of like my thought process. Like, he's had one before. Like, there's no way because like his editing is too good. Like, this guy is fucking like he's great, man. And he's really good at like talking. Like when I first started my videos, I had a hard time speaking, like not speaking, but like reading my scripts and making it sound fluid and stuff like that. And I saw it all and this like robotic and stuff like that. So he's really good, like fluid with his speech. So he either takes, speech classes, probably does a lot of speeches and shit like that. And I like learned how to how to do that. And I'm slowly learning. Like if you watch some of my older videos to like now, you could tell like my speech pattern is better, my editing is better. Like I take more time at editing and stuff like that, And then like my audio, learned how to edit my audio, do a lot better and stuff like that when I do my videos. But yeah, Matt's dope. He's cool. Like, and he also like promotes people's comments. So, like whenever he talks about comic, he puts all like where you can buy them and stuff. So I think that's good. That's good for like the not the industry, but yeah, like for the comic book industry and stuff like that. Because like these type of pages, these YouTube pages are the ones that are necessary and are needed for like the YouTube, to grow and stuff like that. I think so, at least. Speaking of Kari, oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Yeah, Kari. I think Kari Randall worked on the TMNT TV show, the 2004 one. I'm pretty sure he was an animator on that show. But yeah, Kari Randall, man, he's fucking dope, man. He has one comic that he did. I think it was supposed to be a Substack, exclusive comic. It's called Sirens of the City. I think I spelled that wrong. Let me see. Sirens of the City. It was like him and I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife or whatever, but they did this comic and this shit is super dope, man. Like I read it and I was like, man, this is super good. This comic right here, Sirens of the City. It's like based in like 1980s, 90s New York, and it's really good. I would highly recommend it if you guys aren't ready yet. Joanne Starter or Star Kari, he did like the whole entire artwork for it, and it's really good. Yeah, it's the first one. Hopefully they redo it, but it's like about like these two like factions, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type story, where this girl, she's like pregnant, she's a siren, she has like the powers to like control people when she speaks, and then there's like these other factions of these males who are like colored red, and I forgot what their powers were, but like essentially she gets pregnant by this guy, and he's one of the red people, and it's super cool. It's like super 80s. Like look, he's the LL Cool J Kango and the big old chain and shit. So this comic is super dope. And it's kind of like I just love the aesthetic of it, like the 80s punk rock, hip hop esque look, and just like Kari Randolph is super dope. I might have to reread this. It has like the spot colors of the red and the blue. But yeah, this is like the whole comic. Yeah, he did this. This is one of his most recent work or like series that he did. He's in like little stuff here and there in covers, but Kari Randolph I fuck with Kari Randolph. He's super dope, and he's been around for a long ass time. What is their powers? They had like web. I forgot what their powers were. But yeah, it's a good comic. It's okay. Tubular. It's all good. Matt. He's slick, man. He knows what he like. That's good though. Good presentation makes people like want to watch your videos. If you sound like too slow or whatever, like it kind of like turns people off. At least like I always try to make my videos good passive listening or passive viewing. That's what I like to do. At least that's what I try to do. I appreciate Matt's videos because it encourages people to read and not telling people. Yeah. I don't like those type of pages that kind of like I mean they're necessary and and are essential for YouTube. Like people who break down comics, like the origins of this character, the origins of that character. But I like comic videos or comic what's it called, channels that they give a more like niche look at like the industry or like the comics as a whole. Like Comic Tropes is pretty cool. I learned a lot of like random shit from his channel. There's another one called Comics. I forgot I follow him. I forgot their name though. Maybe I don't follow him. It's a female. She talks about comics also, but she doesn't do breakdowns. Like, and Comic Drake's cool. Like those guys, those are cool people. But there's like Comic Historian. Their channel is pretty like interesting. This is really popular. And there's another one called Comics something or another. I don't remember, but this month, but I'm definitely enjoying it. Oh yeah, Casually Comics. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, Casually. I found out about her channel recently. She's been on YouTube for the longest time also. And then yeah, she's popular also. She has a hella followers. She gets like interviews with like a bunch of creators and stuff. She's Kari Randolph interview that I need to check. Or not Kari Randolph, Kari Andrew. I need to check that one out. Yeah, she does a lot of cool stuff. But these are the type of channels like I couldn't compete with these because I like one, like I'm not like I don't hate superheroes, but I'm not a superhero fan like that. Like I read like if you look at my collection outside of like a few comics, most of my comics are like indie or like more niche, nuanced, random shit. This is the video I found her about this one right here about the Gorillas comic. I bought this this comic she has right here. This what's it called? This fucking trade. Where's it at? Get the freebies. I bought this comic. It's by the guy who made the Gorillas. It was like a magazine comic he did like in the 80s or 90s or some shit like that. Fu Action. I bought that. It's a really good book, man. Sketchcraft. I gotta check them out. But yeah, I mean, like, and yeah, I mean, these type of channels, like I said, I'm not like a super comic book like superhero fan. I like indie, underground, weird comics. So if I can find a channel that does that, that's like it's cool. That's like was the cool thing about like K-Fam, because they did stuff like that. Then like I found a bunch of cool comics from them. But yeah, man. Yeah, the gorilla dude that what is his name, man? James Hewlett. Yeah, Jamie Hewlett. Yeah, he has a lot of cool comics. Like Tank-Girl, I want to read his old Hewlett Tank-Girl books. I need to check those out, but I just know if I'm gonna buy it, I'm probably not even gonna read it. Just look at the artwork. So, like, I have a bad habit of doing that. What else do I have here? I've been looking at this a lot too lately. This Doom. I got the oversized edition of the Doom comic by Sanford Green, which is fucking sick. Sanford Green is one of my favorites also. He's a dope ass artist. Actually, oh man, I appreciate it, Jester. That's crazy. The YouTube algorithm is sick, man. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for the 10K subscribers and all that stuff. I'm gonna be going live a little bit more often, since like usually in between like projects and stuff, when I don't have anything going on, I'll either go live or like whatever. Since I'm about to wrap up this first issue of this comic, we can look at that again before I get off. If you guys want, but usually whenever like I don't have anything going on, I'll either go live or I'll fucking whatever. So what was I saying? I usually just like will do live streams. Like I used to do interviews and stuff like that. But like I said, like I don't like working around people's schedules that much. It's kind of like I wouldn't say infuriating, but it's more like I like to like have a certain set schedule, and people like, and something goes out of the way. I don't like disappointing people by like saying like, oh, I got to reschedule for you, and I don't want to like hear it back. So I kind of like stop doing interviews. But you can go check those out. Some of the people I talk to, I'm not gonna delete any of those interviews, but if you want to go to my lives, in my past lives and live streams, you can check out some of those. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, this is my new comic I'm working on right now. Come on. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, next weekend I'm probably gonna be going live a lot. I have like a long weekend off from work, so I'll probably be live. I'm gonna try to figure out how to like do a live stream where I can get people to come on and like promote their comics or talk for a little bit or whatever. But yeah, this is my new comic. It's called AWOL. It should be coming out. This chapter will be done probably like by Monday. I'm debating if I want to just put it up on my website for download. There won't be any physical copies for it until the end of the year because my goal is to have this comic for my next convention I'm going to be tabling at. So, and it's going to be like a full trade, 120 something pages. So that's the goal for this one. So yeah, this is that's what I got going on. But yeah, and then after that, I'm hopefully I'm already plotting on my next couple video ideas and stuff. So those should be up, probably sometime the end of this month or next month. I'm also going to be at Heroes Con next month. So if you guys are going to be there, come by and say hi, what's up. I'm not going to be tabling. I'm just be walking around and standing in long lines, getting my book signed like everybody else. But yeah, appreciate everybody for watching this live stream. Again, I have a discount going on for my website. So those who haven't bought any comics or are interested in buying, it's the pinned comment in the chat. 10K subs. That is going to be the promo code for 10% off of all your orders. That's promo code is good till the next week. So if you guys want to check that out. Oh man, I forgot one last thing. I forgot. This is important. So I'm also starting, or I already started a Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out on there, on Patreon, I'm gonna have exclusive content. So I've been putting up these videos about like if you guys are interested in doing a YouTube channel, I'm doing tutorials on kind of like how I've made my own YouTube and my thoughts and tips and tricks that are like that I use to set up a YouTube channel. I'm also do post exclusive stuff. So like what I've been reading, artwork, stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna be posting on there essentially. And then after I'm done with so I already have all these videos pretty much recorded for this series of tutorials, and after that I'm going to do a tutorials or videos on what's it called, on like how to make comics and stuff. So that's pretty much like my process on like penciling, inking, getting books sent to the printer, my business mindset and like how to do that type of stuff and how to sell comics like the most effective way that I've found out so far. And then I don't know, I might do other things. I might do other types of videos. I might do like reviews, like just like straight up like reviews, like of comics of like that I've been reading, or even if people want to like me to review their comics, I can review them, give them my feedback. I'm not like a super smart expert on comics, but I can give you like more straight up layman's feedback. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I like where you're going, stuff like that. And then also been thinking about doing sketchbook tours because I have a bunch of like I've this last year I've been filling out. Like I have, let me see, 5 sketchbooks full of just shit. Like I have a bunch of like sketchbooks that I've pretty much knocked out this last couple years. Like this last year alone, like I've just been doing like a bunch of sketches. It's like concept art and like anatomy studies and just a bunch of shit like that. And just like, so I might do some videos like that. Just like a bunch of just whatever you guys think would be cool. You can just comment below, but just go subscribe. I mean, you don't even have to do the pay stuff right now. You can just follow the Patreon. I think it's like $5. I put it for $5. And that's you just get access to everything. So all the tutorials, all the exclusive posts, and then stuff like that. Just another way to whatever you guys want to support. I'm not like begging or not say begging, but like, if you want to, if you can, that's awesome. If you can't, like, I understand. I'm not tripping. I just saw like Patreon is like a good way to do, because I mean, there's other content that I would like to do, not just like video essays, and I could do like straight quick, like record, talk about whatever, and then just post it on there, so I don't have to like risk fucking up my channels, like algorithm and stuff like that, and whatever. But maybe I'm just overthinking it too much. But yeah, I have a bunch of just sketchbooks or just drawings. This is like I use this picture a lot for like logos and shit. Yeah, it's my Patreon, so I'll put all the links in the description. Maybe I can drop it in the chat. Yeah, you can just follow it for free for now. I mean, I post stuff for free on there sometimes or whatever, and then yeah, if you guys want to check out my Patreon, check out my website. I have a comics on there for sale, comics for a read, to download digital comics. I have a sampler on there. You can check out all my comics that I have up, all my original comics up there for free. Essentially, it's like a big sampler download file. I have a bunch of what's it called? So not what's it called, but like bundles on my website, and all of it you can. Hold on, what's up, Jester? But yeah, I can I have a bunch of bundles. So if you go to the bundles, you can pretty much get like all my comics, like this huge bundle. You can get all my comics for $60, and then you could promote your comics like one channel I follow. Okay. But yeah, so you can go to my website and you can just yeah, you could buy my comics. So you can either buy individuals for like $10. I have some like my longer, the ones that are like $15 are usually like longer. So like this Otaku no Gaijin is like full color. That's in a what's it called, anthology book that I worked on. This one's another anthology book. These are my own original comics, and then Spider-Man Deluxe. This is like 60 pages of a Spider-Man bootleg comic that I just reprinted. Xanderflix. Oh, yeah, I know Xanderflix. Yeah, I know who that guy is. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do on my channel, Jester. I pretty much like at the end of all my videos, I always promote my comics. Like at the end, plug them wherever. But yeah, if you go to my website, like I said, I have a bunch of my comics on there you can buy. And yeah, so it's my website and my portfolio, my artwork on there and stuff. And you can subscribe to my newsletter, and then I have my recent videos on there. But yeah, so go check it out if you guys want. Like I said, use the code that's pinned. I'll be live again probably sometime next weekend. Like I said, I'm gonna try to figure out if I can kind of bring people on to talk, and chop it up for like 5-10 minutes. I saw Comic Trope did that one stream where he did that and helped let people promote their comics. So if anybody's a comic creator or whatever, I'm gonna try to do a stream like that. Yeah, appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boom.